Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Vator Games in the building. You know what it is. Another episode. We're back. Bonus Saturday evening. Ooh, do I still have my music going? Let me turn that off. Much love to everybody in the mix. Let me do this. First things first. My peoples come first. My people that are here, my people no longer here, thought of and remembered. It's a bonus show. It's another episode. One question for 15 minutes. 115. I'm Vator Games. I'm here, and this show is going to be on point because I got a few things that I want to address, right? I got a few things that I just want to get off my chest, a few things that I find interesting, a few things that I want to put rivals on notice about. A few things I want to put the rivals on notice. If you don't know, I'm out here based in Toronto, Canada. Just going to pour myself a nice Canada Dry. It's ginger ale. Because I have a feeling that with the amount of speaking that I'm going to be doing, just need to make sure I stay hydrated. What I do every episode, I shout out the very first person to drop a comment. And if you happen to be watching for the first time, drop a comment. Let me know what you think of the show, whether you got some feedback. On top of that, sub if you haven't. Help get the sub number up. And every episode, I shout out the very first person to take the time out of their day to drop me a comment and be a part of the show. And today's show, the very first, was my man Dre P. This should be an interesting one. It should be an interesting one. One rival suggested immorality should not be stood for, and so City must be punished. My question is, entertaining hacked emails is not encouraging immortality. Very good point. Very good point. Next in the building with regards to the comment, and Dre P, we're going to get into that. Zane goes pop in to say big up and got to go to sleep because it is like 2 a.m. out here. Listen, I know that. And again, I'm trying to still, I got to talk to my North American people, my UK people, those that are still up, be a part of the show, interact. If you happen to be watching this on the replay, it's all good. So it's all love. We're cool with it. After this, I still, you know what I mean? I'm going to get my workout in. It's 9 o'clock out here. So everything's going to be nice and calm. Zane, appreciate it. Now, where to start? You know what? First, let me get the clock. Let me get the clock going. If you happen to be on YouTube, hit that like button, share it. If you happen to be on Twitter X, again, you can interact with the show. You can be a part of it. And you can obviously share it. Let the people know. Canada Dry Ginger Ale. If you haven't tried it, you should try it. They're not a sponsor. Okay. Okay. If you haven't been on the Twitter X app, if you haven't been on the timeline, if you don't know what's going down, Manchester City, and even before that, you guys should all know, Manchester City have sued the Prem on three key things. One, they want to address the Prem with regards to associated party transactions, sponsorship. Okay. They also want to address the Prem with regards to the 14 club 2/3 rule with regards to voting in decisions, voting in rules. And they typically have no problem with it. If you were to hear it from rivals, they have a problem with the voting in rule. No, they don't have a problem with the entirety of the voting in rule, but they do have questions with regards to a voting in rule that may be unlawful. They also have concerns with a voting in rule that may not best reflect the spirit of some of these rules and laws that want to be put in place. So they're questioning it because the way it is right now, 14 of the clubs that are in the league vote or abstain 2/3 rule. So obviously 2/3 of what's available to vote with regards to the rules going down. But they want to address all that. The latest Let me start the clock. Let me start this. Hold on. Woo! The latest, and shout out to everybody in the comments. Shout out to those of you watching. And if you're on the replay, I do interact with every comment that's posted. So please feel free to let me know what you think. Whether you agree or disagree with me, it's all cool. But these topics right here are things that I look forward to covering in the future. Dre P's already let me know he definitely wants me to talk about the Klopp and him being 7th with regards to all-time Prem managers, and I'll get to it. The news is so rapid, so maybe I might sneak in that conversation in the middle of the week, right? Because I have a feeling next week is going to be an epic one, because the suit that City have against the Prem actually kicks off on Monday. But these topics here, you all have a chance to be like Vader. Actually break down why associated party transactions, APT for short, is trash. Like, explain why you think it's trash. Those things can get discussed. You guys can decide that. But tonight for me, late night for you guys in the UK, we're going to talk about why Prem CEOs should surrender emails. Right? Like emails, WhatsApps, text messages, correspondence, communications, why they should surrender it. And let me start the clock. And the reason why I find this so funny, and I look to see whether there's going to be that same energy, the same energy that many rivals had with regards to City. If City have irrefutable evidence, if they're so confident that they're innocent, if they've got nothing to hide, then just cooperate. Just give everything to the Prem. They're asking to see your books. Just surrender the books. Let's see whether these rivals have that same energy when it's now the CEOs, current and past CEOs, now that they've been asked to surrender their communications. So, senior Prem, or senior leaders, CEOs, essentially the CEOs of the Prem, Richard Masters, you guys should all know his name, and before that, same first name, Richard, but Scamore, I might be butchering his last name. Those two CEOs have been kind of like sequestered. They've been asked, they've been processed. They need to surrender their communications, their emails, their text messages, their WhatsApps, with regards to communications of Manchester City dating back to 2009. And the reason why my thumbnail had collusion on the screen. Take a second. Take a second? Now, hopefully you have two devices, but look up collusion. Shout out to my man Rax in the building. Discovery. It's completely normal for parties to disclose this. Rax, I'm not saying anything's out of the ordinary. I'm not saying anything is odd. I'm pointing out that many, and shout out, you're on Twitter X, shout out for taking the time actually commenting. Many have all had their nose up in the air and said, City, why don't you surrender your books? Why don't you just give up all the information that you have so that you can cooperate with what's been inquired, what you've been accused of? And the Red Cartel, we know who the Red Cartel is, right? Kroenke's, American owners for Arsenal. Glazers, American owners for United. FSG, Henry, American owners for Liverpool. The Red Cartel, the three. My last show, I had a little dated, but it illustrated all of these CEOs, all of these businessmen, rivals, club rivals, right? I'm told all the time, the rivalry between United and Arsenal, the rivalry between United and Liverpool. Arsenal are in the mix, although Liverpool don't want to claim that Arsenal are rivals, but they're now competing for titles. But we got the red cartel. We all know who they are. They comfortably sat at the table. The picture just smelled. It was stinky. It was stinky. But you have all those three clubs. You have United and Liverpool documented. Do your Googles, where they spearheaded. They led who they wanted the successor to be with regards to the CEO. They wanted that successor to be there. Much respect, Rax. They suggested. I'm gonna get to your comment, JP. So they now have handpicked who the CEO for the premise. The former CEO and current CEO have been asked to surrender their communications dating back to 2009. The league are obviously fighting a suit for Manchester City, and Manchester City have said that throughout the years, most recently, they think that there's a level of discrimination with regards to their club. I think a little bit is also sparked with regards to the takeover now with Newcastle, with the Saudi. The collusion, and look up the definition of collusion, but the collusion will be seen and will be found in those communications if it exists. We've all, those of you all in the workspace, right? Hopefully you're smart enough to know that if you're gonna say anything sly, anything kind of reckless, anything that is a little it's a faux pas, right? You're gonna do that. You're gonna do that personally. You're gonna do that on the side. You're not gonna do that over work communications. If you're so sloppy to have illustrated any type of collusion over a WhatsApp, over an email, over a text message, it's getting found out. It's getting found out. And if you're resistive, if you don't want to surrender those communications, rivals, if these CEOs don't want to surrender those communications, if the Prem don't want to have that stuff provided as evidence, are they guilty? Are we thinking that they're guilty as well? The same way we want to use the same brush and paint Manchester City with. I think I agree with Rax. It's all normal. They should be surrendering this stuff. Best believe, going back to 2009, your word choice, your choice of your phrases, maybe your aggressiveness in tone, in actuality. Many thought it would be difficult for a city to prove discrimination or to prove collusion. I don't think it's going to be that difficult. And I also believe, I'll be fully transparent, I believe that if it is proven, I think this gets handled on the hush hush. This gets handled quietly. If it does get proven, this thing shouldn't come to light. If it does become aware, I think the Prem and City should handle this like businessmen, like gentlemen, like they did with regards to Liverpool. And when Liverpool stole Manchester City scouting, it was like the City were like, we're not going to make this a whole big thing. Let's handle it quietly. Pay the penalty. Not going to make this whole media circus. Put it to bed. I believe that same of gentleman-like businessman exchange may happen with regards to this. Let me go to Dre P's comment. Rivals can be so one-eyed. Why would anyone ever assist someone who's trying to bring you down? If you dig deep enough, you always find something anywhere. The accusers must do their work. Facts. And Dre P, I want to hear how Rivals speak on this. I want to hear how Rivals even address it, even maybe choose to have a video on it, on whether rivals choose to put the microscope on it, like they're quick to do with Manchester City. But if they don't, we get it. Prem CEOs should have no problems surrendering their emails, WhatsApps, and texts, right? They're innocent. They got no problem. They haven't colluded. They haven't done anything unjust versus one club or the other. They haven't showed any favoritism to a short few of clubs, right? I love seeing this on the timeline. I loved seeing it. It was breaking news. I think I saw it on City Report. And I retweeted this. If you're not following me on Twitter, you should follow me on Twitter. But and it's at VatorGames. And cheeky like, you know what I mean? Like a little playful. I don't know how to really put the tone in it, but I said, this is what I said. If the CEOs of the Prem, like Richard Masterson, like Richard Skimore, have nothing to hide and don't have any communication of collusion versus Manchester City, I'm sure they will surrender the communication records. Right, rivals? Right. Breaking news, senior Premier League figures, including CEO, I said Masterson and Skimore, and former CEO Skimore, have been ordered to hand over all emails, WhatsApp messages, and texts mentioning Manchester City dating back to 2009 before the hearing into the 115 charges. And this is as per the Times. I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited about this. I think rivals, you should all be excited about this as well. Like, many of you want all this exposed and talked about, but again, we don't want to destroy the league. We don't want to destroy the integrity of the league. So I will say this as a Manchester City fan, as a Prem fan, I want the process to happen. Shout out to all my Arsenal fans. I want the process to happen, right? I want them to do their due diligence, go through the steps. However, I want them to come to an agreement for the betterment of the league, image-wise, reputation-wise, integrity-wise. So if it happens to work out behind closed doors, I'm okay with it. Let's just make sure that we correct what's been wrong and move forward with it. That's what I would like to see. Dre P goes, good point, Vader. We must not forget that these men are businessmen. They aren't football fans. Rivals want to see these guys as fans of football because it suits their narrative. That's 100%. Dre, you're right. AA Witherspoon goes, at VatorgamesTV, rival clubs feel that they're pure as snow. Trust me, pure as just fallen from the sky snow. And now they're about to get exposed to the fullest. AA, I think obviously a lot's going to happen privately, and I hear you on that. I think a lot's going to come to light, but again, for the betterment of the league, I don't want the league's dirty laundry out there. I just want the league to fix what they've been doing wrong, if that happens to be the case. Dre P goes, apparently, and you may be able to confirm, City actually wanted independent regulators for the league. It's a majority of the Prem that those were against it. Facts. Dre P, 100%. So back, before the 115 were dropped on us, and actually it was like 100 charges, and then it crept up. Before that even happened, I'm going to get to the rest of the comments. Before that even happened, there was the talk on the whole white papers, right? There was a whole talk on regulating the Prem, taking it out of the hands with regards to regulation of the Prem doing it themselves. And City were either the only one, or maybe one of two that wanted an independent regulator. City were one, maybe two. I think they were the only one. They wanted an independent regulator. Let's take it out of our hands. Let's actually have neutrality. Let's actually have non-bias. Let's actually put it in someone else's hands, and let's agree to do that. Nah. Scootamore. Thank you, Rex. Phonetically, he helped me out with that. The girl RK in the building. I'm here for the news, loving it. This is what I'm thinking of doing. I think I can always I can kind of sneak away depending on the day because I do shows with Flawless, I do shows with Staffy TV late during the week. But a weekend, I think I'm gonna try to. I think I'm gonna try to make this happen if I can, and if I can get panel members, I'll look to do that as well. But this is great. Thank you, girl RK. Dre P goes. I don't hear much talk about why perhaps City are amongst the few who want the independent regular. Is it because the Prem and the Red Cartel want to be able to twist and turn rules in their favor? Dre P, I think the relinquishing of control is the majority of it. I think it's also the point of when you have power, you don't want to give it away. And the fact that I mentioned earlier, the previous CEO was pretty much steered or handpicked by United and Liverpool because of their influence. And we hear this all the time, right? We hear it all the time about Arsenal, Liverpool, and United and their history, their presence. And I heard arguing on the football terrace that back in the day or early Prem, there was the potential of majority of the TV revenue to be going to those clubs, those established historic clubs. But it was voted upon not to have that case, which we would all believe is the right thing because we've seen what tilting a higher percentage to certain clubs, La Liga, has done to it, right? But with regards to ruling, with regards to being objective and fair, I would think that an independent regulator would make the most sense. But we'll continue to dive deep and figure out why. Staffy TV in the building. Can I confirm? Can I confirm a Fanta Light, bruv? No, Fanta Light, never. No, Canada Dry. Um, a Barks root beer is actually kind of nice. Still, it's kind of nice. Dre P. I think it's too late, Vader. I suspect the Red Cartel's effort to gang up on City has blown things out of proportion, and the dirty laundry is aired and will come out. I think the dirty laundry is out there. I think the skeletons are in the closet, Dre P. Because you could. The reason why I say that is because you can only think about how conversations have happened with regards to the rules that they put in place, and even more recently, how communication may have gone back and forth when they were looking to even implement the rule with regards to APT, when they were trying to put in this associated party transaction. And shout out to Martin, Gun DeLorean and True City fan. But I also remember that there was an email that leaked out in the media, in the press, where it was Arsenal complaining about Manchester City. I got to go back and find it. So think about the correspondence that goes back and forth over, texts, WhatsApps, right? Emails to the actual official law, right? Or rule. So I think the dirty laundry is going to kept quiet for the image of the league. I think City, again, behind closed doors, sitting across the table, is going to be like, you did us dirty. We see it's here. We've suspected this, or we've known of this because we've heard, we've known. People have screenshots. People have shown us things, right? And we've tried to address it. Now we're across the table. We don't want this whole thing to burn down. We don't want the league to crash down. Let's handle this like gentlemen. Let's come to an understanding. Let's figure this out because we don't want to destroy the league. I think that's where this is getting to. AA goes, at Vader Games, I concur. Sadly, the mudslinging has been prevalent, and it seems as City are going to return fire now. I don't think so. I think it's going to be like, listen, stop pushing me. Stop pushing. I'm telling you, stop pushing me. And now it's like, listen, City are stepping forward, right? We've all been in an altercation. It's like, "Look, I'm only going to take so much." Now City's stepping forward, and I think they're going to threaten to throw that punch, but not just yet. Not just yet. A Solomon in the building. Big up, Vader. Yo, my man. Good looking out. I honestly think that you have to go through these steps to say enough's enough. And I wanted to do this show. I want to stay really, really on point. I had the timer up. I had you all interacting, and I much appreciate it. If you're on Twitter X, go to the YouTube, hit that like button. Um, Debo coming. Listen, there's only so much, right? There's only so much Craig was taken from Debo in Friday. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Friday, get your culture up. Go and check it out. But there's only so much man could take before he had to reach back and you know what he had to hit him with. So I think City are just pushing back, but not to destroy the league. Not to destroy the league. As much as others, rivals, especially where they talk, they want to see City crash and burn, destroyed. What they want to see it dissolved. They want to see it just to dust. Manchester City owners, they don't want to take the Prem there, but they do want to say, listen, we how things are moving are unfair. Um, I like that I'm able to do this, and I want to do more of this. I'm also going to do my part to, and shout out to everybody in the comments. I'm going to be working. I'm going to be working on actually having my own panel show. But what I want to do, and shout out to everybody that I work with, and I get to feature on. But what I want to do is maybe get some, get some of the undiscovered people that want to speak. Anyone any of you in the comments, if you have no problem being on camera, if you have no problem wanting to talk about your respective club, I would like to do that because I think if you see me on someone else's show featured, you get their point of view, you get mine. And I think it's great to have that unique content. And then for me to get individuals different as well on my show would work really well. So that's where I'm kind of leaning towards. That's what I'm going to try to work and make happen. Because that's the vision. I'd love to hear or have the conversation with rivals because obviously there's times where they can be sensible and then there's times that they can be banter and just be tribal. JP goes, would love to hear more from Chelsea fans. They had recent success from an owner willing to invest and crack the red cartel monopoly. They should have an intriguing perspective. I agree. And actually I have a lot of calm conversations with many Chelsea fans in that regard, in that aspect. I'm praying that we don't go the Chelsea route though in terms of our fandom, and because their Abramovich era has them thinking that it should always be like that in terms of the success and the winning. So I hope we remain a lot more humble than them. My gal Rose in the building. Rose, thanks for being able to tune into the show. Thanks for actually dropping a comment, and I'm sure you dropped a like. Always appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Hope the family's good. And yeah, there's going to be a lot more shows like this. So hopefully you can tune in. We can link up a lot more. This is going to be interesting to watch as I shut things down. This is going to be interesting to watch to see how rivals speak on it. To see how rivals speak on the CEOs giving up this information. This will be interesting to also see how much attention rivals give with regards to the news. And let's also be patient because the suit that City have against the Prem starts on Monday. Sorry, I just hit the microphone. Starts on Monday, and it's going to be 2 weeks before it's kind of wrapped up. So we're going to have that. We're going to have Euros. Let's all pay attention to it. I'm going to continue to drop some things on Twitter. Hopefully you're following me on there. I mentioned the last thing I tweeted about. The interaction was nice as well. Let me see what's happening with my notifications. And also, let me also mention this. We're never going to be on the I want to see City right. No rival are going to. So the rivals can't eliminate their tribalism. I've seen it. So rather than some say they want to see rules changed, even though it's coming from the messenger of Manchester City, a lot of them are saying, it's Manchester City. We don't want you to win what you're fighting against or what you're looking to change. I think that's going to be the case for a long time. They're going to hate the message because of the messenger. But City are trying to change some things. That's obviously clear. And also, I'm going to say this, and I know it's not going to be for the last time. I know it's not going to be for the last time. Just because Manchester City have been able to be successful, be one of the best or the best with the rules in place does not mean that the rules in place are best for the Prem or best for future teams, future clubs that are trying to build themselves up. So recognizing that something is wrong and wanting to do something different about it is not a does not then equate to they City want to change the rules because they want to exploit the rules that they change. Keep hearing it from rivals. It's lazy, but there's going to be a lot to talk about. The last last comments from Dre P, I think. I give thanks for Chelsea because Bowley came and showed that it's not about just spending. So did United, Dre P. Don't forget. So don't forget, United showed us, been showing us that you can be the top spender doesn't mean success. So when they want to say City are here because of top spending, no. Slow that down. Slow that down. City are here because they learned early days. You can't just splash the cash. You can't just spend and acquire a lot of good talent. You got to be smart. You got to be strategic. So the combination of spending, which we do, not even at the levels of a United, but the amount of spending with the quality in terms of strategy, that's why we're here. That's why we're here. Liverpool strategy on point. They all complain about their owners. United spending on point. They all complain about their owners. If United had their Glazer spending and FSG strategy, they'd be good. If FSG Liverpool had United Glazer spending with FSG strategy, they'd be good. They just don't have the combination. And so City's dominance or City's success is because they've blended the two. Not that they've outspent to be here, but many will want you to believe that that's how we got here. Many will have that false equivalency. That's a big word everybody wants to use, false equivalency, but that's not the case. Dre P, rivals should look at Girona. Yeah, they should. They're hating on Girona because it's part of the Football City group. Sorry. Yeah, no. The City Football Group. The City Football Group. Girona is well run by the same City Group. Facts. City are Girona with better funding. I love that. I like that point. AJ in the building. Big up Vader every time. AJ, my guy, I see you in the mix. Always doing your thing. Always doing your thing. Appreciate you dropping a like as well. Let's get the likes to at least 15. For some reason, 115, 15's been a nice number. I'm seeing it everywhere that I go. Let's get the likes up to 15. Also, in the comments, live or post, because this is interactive. I want this channel to be as interactive as it can. I want it to be synced up with you as best as I can. Let me know in the comments what you'd like me to do a little research on and come back and speak on. I'm definitely going to be speaking on this suit against the Prem. But if there's other things that you'd like me to get into, even transfer news, I don't do a lot of. And I don't do a lot of because it's like it's always a moving target. All right? There's always like, oh, this rumor just dropped. This rumor just dropped. And I don't, again, I want to tune in and have the conversation with y'all. But I don't just want to have the conversation to say, oh, look at this rumor. What do you think? right? I'd rather have conversations elsewhere. And those that do the transfer talk, of course, do that. But it's always something different. So I'm gonna keep it with this for now. I'm gonna shut things down, and I want to also remind you, check out my last vid because the last video I thought was pretty good. I had to adjust the brokies. On my last video. If you happen to miss it, go and check that out. Um, and check out and just subscribe. Dre P goes, the club discussion should be a good one. That research I have locked and loaded. Like I've been ready to speak on that one. And that's gonna be a very interactive show. So because of that, actually, Dre, I gotta pick the time of day right. Because I'm gonna want to obviously get those. Yeah, I gotta pick the right day for that Klopp discussion. Might be in the middle of like in the middle of the show. But today's one question, 15 minutes, 115. I'm not keeping track of these episodes, but I addressed why CEOs should have no problem surrendering emails, surrendering WhatsApp, surrendering phone records. They should have no problem because they're innocent. Right, rivals? They should have no problem surrendering all communications with regards to Manchester City because they're innocent. Let's wait and see. Monday's going to be fun. I'm Vader Games. Please subscribe so you know the next time I'm live. Also, have that notification button so you know what's up. Man Away coming in clutch at the end. What's he got to say? I have a question. Okay, he has a question. You know what? This man, how's this? You know what? You better not say, where's my invite because of the time of night. Listen, I know you got a lot on the go. This is what I'm saying. Why are you avoiding me on FC24? Stop it. Stop this. You're gonna make me release the highlights of the last time we played. The last time we played, I won 2 out of 3. Which was epic. It's actually a good night. It was a lot of fun. But I'm not avoiding you. And we will get back to playing 100%. Rose, my gal goes, Vader. I really enjoyed that discussion. It was epic. Thank you, Rose. Rose was in the mix when I had to talk to the brokies. I had to address the brokies, and she was there. Made for a great show. Avoid.com. Nah, love to all of you, and please, if you haven't subscribed to the Mancunian Way, please go there and do so. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I want to keep this short. I'm a talker. I'm a talker, and I need to keep these a lot shorter. But I appreciate you tuning in. And if you think I'm long-winded, look at the timer. That's when I'm most on point, and I deal with questions afterwards. So thanks for all the support. Martin goes, I've been here all along, been listening. Great show. Appreciate that, Martin. Appreciate it so very much. And we'll be back with another one. So have the notification button on. Let's see what they say. Let's see how rivals speak on this new situation with regards to Manchester City. I'm Vader Games. This is Vader Games TV, and my latest episode of 115, one question, 15 minutes. I'm Vader Games, and I'm out. Much love.